Hello! Boys, we got a good one for you today. We're going to be talking about Marvel Rivals Season 1. That's right. It has been a month since the game's release, which means we are officially heading into peak. Marvel Rivals Season 0 is coming to an end, which means we are officially on our way to Marvel Rivals Season 1, the first full-length official season of the game. Now, with that being said, we don't have a ton of info confirmed by Marvel Rivals, but we do have a ton of info regarding the season by leakers and data miners and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do for you today is I'm going to break down everything that we know about Season 1 of Marvel Rivals heading into December 6th, and just talk about the stuff that we do know and the stuff that has been confirmed by Marvel Rivals themselves. Now, with that said, I would like to preface by saying only some of this is confirmed by Marvel Rivals, and with this video coming out when I'm releasing it, there's going to be a lot of content and news that is going to be coming out in the coming days by Marvel Rivals. So even today, if this video comes out and something has been confirmed by Marvel Rivals or denied by Marvel Rivals and it is in the video, I sincerely apologize. Like I said, I'm making this in advance. So I truly hope that all of this info is accurate, but let's get into it. So like I said, I'm going to be talking about Season 1 of Marvel Rivals. This season will begin on January 10th, with obviously January 9th being the last day for you to grind out Season 0. And the season is going to be vampire themed in a sense. It will be called Eternal Night, which is a direct correlation to the universe that a lot of the characters in the Marvel Rivals game are coming from. Now, Eternal Night is referring to New York City in that universe. It is a New York City that is overrun by Dracula and his, succeeding vampires. So overall, it is going to be a vampire themed season. With that said, we aren't sure as of now if we are getting Blade, specifically because it has been confirmed that in this season, as opposed to Season 0, Season 0 was supposed to have a more spread out and dispersed character launch, but it didn't. Instead, we got all 33, including the new characters, on launch with no wait. This season, however, is going to be a little more dispersed, with confirmation coming that we are at least getting 4 characters this season, but not all 4 characters are going to be released on launch. Instead, we will get 2 characters released at the launch of Season 1 and 2 characters later on in the season. With that said, it was previously confirmed that we were going to be getting the Fantastic Four, which was confirmed by Marvel Rivals themselves, but leakers and data miners had also overwhelmingly confirmed, or tried to confirm, that we were also going to be getting Blade and Ultron. Now, I bring this up because, like I said, it is already said that we are really only getting 4 characters. However, with the confirmation by Marvel Rivals that the Fantastic Four are coming, one could assume that those 4 characters are going to be the Fantastic Four. So with that being said, the Eternal Night season having to deal with vampires, you would assume that you are getting Blade, and leakers confirm that you are getting Ultron, but now it's being said that there are going to be 4 characters released. Now, this could be a matter of simply, maybe this is the truth for now, and maybe it'll be 2 characters at launch, 2 characters mid-season, and 2 characters late season. However, as of now, it's kind of looking like we're really only confirmed to be getting the Fantastic Four, obviously by Marvel Rivals and through the leakers based off these statistics. Personally, I wouldn't be too scared if you were really looking forward to Blade, if you were really looking forward to Ultron, which I think we all were. I wouldn't be too worried. I think they're definitely going to be added in the game in Season 1. I think it might just be something in the files or plans or something that people have found saying that, we're not going to get, it might just specifically be for the Fantastic Four. Maybe it came off as 2 characters here, 2 characters there, but maybe it meant specifically, oh, we're going to do 2 of the Fantastic Four here and 2 of the Fantastic Four there. We could be getting 3 here and 3 there, or we could be getting 2, 2, and 2. In some form or fashion, I still believe that we are going to be getting Blade and Ultron in this season. With that being said, let's go into some breakdowns of these characters. Now, a lot of these characters I did break down in another video of mine. I will link it in the corner there for you if you want to go watch that. But I won't be talking about abilities specifically today because, like I said, those are in the other video that I made. But of the 6 characters that we think are confirmed to be coming in Season 1, I did want to break down some other information that we did not have previously. So, for example, a lot of these characters did have a lot of their voice lines leaked. I will not be doing voices. I will strictly be reading them. I apologize. No, actually, you're welcome, okay? But like I said, a lot of these characters have had some of their voice lines leaked, and some of them just have descriptions of themselves, so I'll go ahead and provide those for y'all. So first on the list, Mr. Fantastic. As we know, he's most likely going to be a duelist. A lot of people thought he was going to be a Vanguard, but leakers, again, are confirming that he's most likely going to be a duelist, which is really upsetting. I really wish he would have been a tank. And you never know, maybe the leakers are wrong. Maybe the data miners are just bad at their job. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully he is going to be a tank, but it's looking like he's probably going to be a duelist. But with that said, we do have some leaked voice lines from Mr. Fantastic, and they go as such. A time stream reintegration device may be our only hope to mend the damage the dooms have caused. Not just Spider-Man. Each parallel universe contains its own variation on every single one of us. In fact, I've met hundreds of versions of myself. Now this one I find interesting because if you look in the picture of the Fantastic Four, you can see the portal device known as the Bridge. So I believe this is kind of our main universe, Eternal Knight, Mr. Fantastic. And it's just, I mean, it's just proof that he's the main man. He knows. He's the one kind of bridging, if you will, these multiverses together. You know, meeting Spider People, meeting other Reed Richards, all that sort of stuff. So I just found that interesting. He also says, speak my wife's name and you'll find our alliance will be over far sooner than you anticipated. I think this one has to be towards Namor. I don't know who else it would be towards. Then he has T'Challa. Tony and I are working on something big, but we can't do it alone. Moving on to Human Torch. He's got some pretty standard and gas ones here. He's got Flame On. We've also got, that one's for Gwen Stacy. No, Goth Girl. You know, they say fire and ice don't go together, but you ready to rock, sis? Yeah, Reed's been working on it so hard as if someone put that idea into his head. Moving on to Ultron. Now, Ultron might just be the coldest motherfucker in this whole game. Some of these voice lines, I wish I was a voice actor. I wish I was James Spader so I could just pop off and do this like crazy, but I can't. I'll just read them to you. Your ancient gods are clearly obsolete, Spectre. A shame. Already cold, but it gets colder. Chilly. I could have done that far more efficiently, Stark. Okay. Now, I will say this. He is Stark made in this universe, and I understand that popularizing these characters, like for example, I watch a lot of Tim the Tatman. Tim is always like, oh, I'm a huge Marvel fan. Tim's a huge MCU fan, and I'm not knocking the guy. I'm not one of those snobs like, oh, you don't read comics, but it's kind of case in point that like they're gonna cater to the more, obviously the movies are more popular than the comics. That's an objective truth. So they're obviously gonna cater more to an MCU audience. So in this universe, Ultron is Stark made, which is kind of unfortunate, but also, whatever. You can't do anything about it. It also says, symbiote bond broken. Designate Venom eliminated. Gas. Syntax updated. You are no longer Groot. What? He also says, I told you, Stark, you are the flaw. That's Gas. I don't care. That's what it's called. Like, this is a dude who's healing people, okay? He should not be this cool, you know what I'm saying? And then he says, your flesh is the flaw, Stark. And then his final one, he says, you pretend to be a machine, yet you are just organs in a metal shell. That is all for the leaked voice lines for characters, but we do still have some descriptions, like for Invisible Woman. Invisible Woman is most likely, not confirmed, but most likely going to be a strategist, because that would mean we have 2 duelists, a tank, and a strategist in the Fantastic Four. But nonetheless, she is most likely going to be a strategist, and she says, her description goes as such. The Invisible Woman is able to slip in and out of sight without a trace. No matter how intense the battle may be, Susan Richards always keeps her cool, conjuring up impenetrable force fields to protect herself and her team. So obviously it says protect herself and her team. Gonna be a strategist. Very cool to see. But along with that, we also have a description and some, you know, leaked abilities for Blade. Blade is also going to be a duelist, kind of a rip. That's 3 duelists out of 6 new characters, which is really unfortunate. We already have way too many duelists, but it is what it is. Blade description goes as such. Half human and half vampire, Eric Brooks walks between worlds, craving the very life force of his enemies. As night falls, Blade's hunt begins as he wields the swords of Dracula, to become the nightmare of any foe who dare to bare their fangs. And then leakers found out that he can transform into his vampire form, so he's obviously going to have a human form, and then he can transform into his vampire form, and in the said vampire form, he will have a slash attack in both forms, but in his vampire form, certain abilities, like his slash attack, will change. We don't know what other abilities will change, or what abilities he specifically will have, and what they will do, but we do know that He will have a human form and a vampire form, and depending on what form he's in, different abilities will do different things. Along with this, he's also able to see through walls. I don't think it's like wall hacks type thing, but see enemies through walls, similar to that of Punisher, kind of like a tracer thing. But it is believed that that will most likely be linked to his passive. Moving on to some big character news that we got about season 1. We're getting balance updates, okay? We're getting an actual update. It's not just going to be a season update. You change the battle pass, whatever. No, they are already working on the game, which you love to see. Specifically this. Storm, Wolverine, and Cloak and Dagger are all getting buffs. Storm, I understand. I think we can all understand that one. Wolverine, I think a buff helps Wolverine. Honestly, I think every character in this game is pretty balanced, other than some people, which I will get to, but every character is pretty much balanced. Nonetheless, I can understand Storm, I can understand Wolverine, but another character that is also getting a buff is going to be Cloak and Dagger, which I really don't understand. I think they were in a really good spot. They were one of the best strategists in the game. Not really sure about that one, but we'll see what they do. It might not even be a major change, but it is noted that they are most likely going to get a buff. Along with this, Captain America and Venom are also getting buffs, specifically movement buffs. Now, I say buffs. It said they're getting movement adjustments, but it's also said that they're getting buffs. So my assumption is that they're going to adjust their movement in a way that helps both of them. With that said, they're the two most mobile tanks in the game. So I'm really not sure why they would need a buff. Maybe it's a nerf, maybe it was miscommunicated, but nonetheless, they are getting movement adjustments. And the best for last, Hela and Hawkeye are getting nerfs. Thank you, God. For people like me who can't make it to diamond lobbies and are hard stuck gold, this is goated. Please, 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 we've been wanting this. And this isn't simply the seasonal damage boost. Some people might think, oh, they're getting nerfs. Yeah, they're just taking away they could still do the team up. They're just taking away their seasonal damage boost. No, they are specifically nerfing them. They are getting rid of the seasonal boost, and on top of that, they will be getting nerfs. Overall, WWW NetEase and developers for all the character stuff. The characters we're getting, the character adjustments, overall gas. But that's not it for season 1. We are also getting map updates and new maps. So the one confirmed map that we do know we are for sure getting in season 1 is going to be the New York Empire of Eternal Night map. Now obviously this one makes sense. It's literally what the whole season is based off of. It's Eternal Night. It's in the Fantastic Four promo. It's everywhere. It's part of the lore. It's Dracula, whatever. So we are going to be getting New York Empire of Eternal Night. Like I stated earlier, this map is going to be a New York that is overrun by Dracula. It's vampire infested. It's where a lot of the characters in the Marvel Rivals main universe come from. And it's pretty much just that. It's an eternal night. It is a perpetual night with a blood moon. It's really, really cool. But not only that, we have areas, because this will most likely be an escort map. It is stated that it's going to be a hybrid map, so it could be both, but we do know for a fact it is going to be an escort map at the bare minimum. With that said, some areas that we have, which you can kind of just assume are areas that you're going to be escorting through. They could be checkpoints, stuff like that, which are really, really cool, because New York in general, in the Marvel universe, is very important, and there's a lot of things in New York. So some of the areas in New York are going to be Midtown, Central Park, and the Sanctum Sanctorum, which I find really cool. But I also find it interesting that the Baxter building is not on here, because personally I assumed that, you know, you were going to be, the payload would be Herbie and the Fantastic Car, and you would kind of navigate to the Baxter building, which is still possible. You know, you can do multiple. There's multiple Tokyo 2099 escort maps, that sort of thing. But nonetheless, this is confirmed thus far. And on top of that, we could be getting 2 other potential maps this season, those being Araco, which would be payload, and Krakoa, which would be a domination map. I think it would be really cool to have 3, but at the same time, I'm kind of okay with 1. I'm kind of okay with just 1 new map. I think there's already a ton of fun maps in the game. So overall, it works out. But there you have it. That is pretty much everything we know about Marvel Rivals Season 1 as of now. Like I said, today, tomorrow, the next day, we're going to be getting more info, specifically more info that is confirmed by Marvel Rivals and NetEase themselves. But as of now, this is everything we know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the balance changes. Let me know what you think about the characters. Let me know what characters you think we might get at the beginning, what we might get at the middle. And let me know what you think about the maps. Do you like the New York? Personally, I'm a big fan. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe. Check out the socials in the description. I love you. Kiss you in your mouth. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye? Bless you. Thank you.